So, I wish him the best at the coach thing. He always was a ball player, so it's second nature to him, so maybe that's, where he's supposed to be.
Master P just shook the game with a bold new career move. The same man who built a $480 million empire straight from the mud, sold over 100 million records, and still ended up staring down bankruptcy is back in the spotlight. Everyone thought his retirement was just...
I gotta give it to Birdman. He started that stunt. You know I started that stunt. But guess what? I was uptown too, and I started that.
...a way to chill and enjoy the fruits of his grind. But his latest interview flipped the script, revealing stories of downfall, family pain, and deep smoke behind the scenes. By the time Y2K rolled around, Master P was running one of the biggest empires hip-hop had ever seen. The gold chains, the tank logo, No Limit was everywhere. But under all that shine, cracks started showing. The same flood-the-market hustle that made No Limit unstoppable was starting to backfire. Dropping record after record had fans burning out fast, and the formula that once built an empire was now wearing thin. Then came the public retirement talk.
It was the perfect bro, like right there watching y'all, and I heard him, and then when you came out after the song ended and said it, I thought to myself, because I could see the crowd go about it. It went crazy.
And he wasn't quiet about it either. Every time Master P hinted at walking away, fans got confused, not sure if they should keep rooting for a man who might disappear any second. That emotional tug-of-war left a lot of folks unsure whether to invest their hearts in him anymore. And just when things were already shaky, P tried to balance that gritty street vibe with a more family-friendly sound, especially when he put his young son Lil Romeo front and center. That move made people question who No Limit really was. Were they gangsta or family first? The industry couldn't quite figure it out. Then came the legal heat. Lawsuits started stacking, artists were bailing, and that tight brotherhood vibe turned cold. By 2003, the unthinkable happened. No Limit Records filed for bankruptcy. Imagine that. A company that had been one of the most profitable forces in the game just 5 years earlier was suddenly gone. But business drama was just one side of the storm. What really tested Master P wasn't money, it was tragedy. Pain came knocking early, starting with the 1990 murder of his brother Kevin, a heartbreak that never fully healed, but that was only the beginning. In 2002, his brother Corey Miller, better known on the streets as C Murder, got locked up on a murder charge. Master P has fought that case ever since, standing by his brother for over 2 decades. Imagine watching your own blood behind bars while the world praises your success. That kind of weight is something only a few could carry. Even after all that time, P never stopped pushing for justice. He organized protests in 2020 to draw national eyes to C Murder's case, refusing to let the system forget. But just when people thought he'd already faced enough heartbreak, life hit him again. In May 2022, tragedy struck when his daughter, Tatiana Miller, passed away at only 29 from an accidental fentanyl overdose. She had been fighting addiction and mental health struggles, a silent battle that so many families deal with, rich or not. But for someone living in the spotlight, that pain becomes even heavier. Master P didn't hide from it. Instead, he spoke out loud and clear. Mental illness and substance abuse are real issues we can't be afraid to talk about. That raw honesty turned his pain into purpose. In interviews from 2025, he opened up about honoring Tatiana's memory through unity and forgiveness, especially with his son, Romeo Miller, formerly known as Lil Romeo. He talked about how crucial communication is, not just as an artist or businessman, but as a father trying to heal old wounds. But the personal storms didn't stop there. After 24 years of marriage, he and his ex-wife, Sonia C, split up. Later, P revealed that during their marriage, he had been hiding a lot of her problems, trying to protect their image. That constant need to look perfect for the cameras, it crushed parts of his personal life that money couldn't fix. And while all that pain unfolded at home, another long-standing tension simmered in the background, his complicated history with Brian Birdman Williams and Cash Money Records. But don't get it twisted. This wasn't just another hip-hop beef with diss tracks and internet shots. No, this one ran deep, rooted in the heart of New Orleans. Master P came up from the Calliope projects in the 3rd Ward, while Birdman repped Uptown's Magnolia. In a city where project loyalty meant everything, these two bosses came from streets just blocks apart, yet they lived in totally different worlds. There was mutual respect mixed with quiet rivalry, a silent competition between two kings who built empires on their own terms. As Birdman once said in an interview, "We from two different projects." And that one line says it all. Two legends, same city, same grind, but completely different paths that shaped hip-hop forever. Master P just proved again that he's not done making moves, not by a long shot. He's out here showing that he understands something a lot of coaches completely miss. These young players need more than drills and jump shots. They need someone who's been through the struggle, who's seen real-life pressure and can guide them through the fire and out the other side with their heads high. When his team's season tipped off in November 2025 with an exhibition win over Sacramento State, the energy was crazy. Even before that, on October 18th, big names like Shaquille O'Neal and Mike Bibby pulled up to watch the start of this new chapter. It wasn't just a game, it was the birth of a whole new era. But Master P's vision goes way beyond basketball. He's not just building players, he's building pride, opportunity, and hope in New Orleans. He's using the game as a spark to boost school enrollment, grow community pride, and inspire the next generation to dream bigger. And he's doing it his way, community first, always. To prove it, he personally paid for 4,000 middle school kids to attend games. That's not just generosity. That's planting seeds in young minds that could grow into full-blown college dreams someday. And he's not stopping there. He's been reaching out to his connections in music too, trying to get Lil Wayne and J. Cole to perform and help bring attention to the program. That's classic P, blending entertainment, business, and purpose like nobody else. He's using every connection he's got to shine a light on a program that's been ignored for way too long.
And the impact didn't stop with nostalgia. That same docuseries reignited national attention on his brother C. Murder's case, proving that even P's past work continues to move the needle in real life. Bet even ranked him number 28 on their list of most influential rappers, not just for his hits, but for how he changed the whole game. What really happened to Master P? He didn't fall off, he evolved, just like he's been doing his whole life. From the projects to the record store, from the record store to running a label, from running a label to making movies, then flipping that success into business, philanthropy, and now sports. It's all part of his constant evolution. At 55 years old, Percy Robert Miller stands as living proof that reinvention isn't just possible. It's essential. The same New Orleans streets that could have swallowed him whole became the foundation of his empire. The same heartbreaks that could have broken him turned into fuel for purpose, advocacy, and family healing. And that same music industry that once tried to limit him had to watch in shock as he flipped the system and sold his own blueprint for profit. As he said himself in the No Limit Chronicles, "If I made it out the conditions that I made it out of, then you can do it too." That's the spirit of a man who turned pain into power, business into culture, and legacy into a lifelong mission. Percy Robert Miller came into this world on April 29, 1970, in New Orleans' Calliope Projects, a place so deep in struggle it was more than poverty, it was survival. But from that same ground came a man who built an empire that still inspires the world today. Master P understood one thing better than most. Ownership is everything. He knew from the start that real power comes from control, not just fame. When he first started dropping music, the numbers weren't crazy, but the streets were talking. His early tapes spread through word of mouth and pure hustle, building what industry insiders called a cult following between the Bay Area and New Orleans. He wasn't chasing fast fame. He was building something solid that could outlast any storm. Back in February 1990, he dropped his first tape, Mind of a Psychopath. It didn't blow up overnight, but it made noise in the underground, announcing that Master P had officially stepped into the game. Then, in 1991, his debut solo album, Getaway Clean, dropped through In a Minute Records, marking his transition from local record store hustler to full-fledged recording artist. Then came Tar You in 1992, a family squad made up of Master P, C. Murder, and Silk the Shocker. This wasn't just about music. This was bloodline business. P wasn't trying to go up alone. He was lifting the whole family with him, turning loyalty into legacy. But the real game changer hit in 1995 when P made one of the most brilliant business moves in hip-hop history. He landed a distribution deal with Priority Records, and this is where his business mindset separated him from everyone else. While most artists were signing away their rights for small advances, MasterP flipped the whole system. He negotiated a deal that let him keep 85% of his sales and, get this, retain full ownership of his masters. That's unheard of. Let that sink in. In an industry built on taking advantage of artists, MasterP played chess while everyone else was stuck on checkers. He used Priority's distribution muscle to get his records into stores nationwide, but he kept the lion's share of the profits. And most importantly, he owned every inch of his art. That same year, No Limit moved back home to New Orleans, where P's heart really was. With in-house producers Beats by the Pound crafting that signature sound, No Limit went from being underground to running the South. The tanks rolled in heavy, and hip-hop would never be the same again. Then came the explosion. 1996, the year Ice Cream Man dropped. The album went platinum, and the single, Mr. Ice Cream Man, climbed the charts like wildfire. That same year, MasterP stepped behind the camera for the first time, directing and producing his debut film, I'm 'Bout It. Shot for only $1.5 million, it pulled in over $16 million at the box office. That's wild! Hollywood couldn't ignore him anymore. The man from the projects had officially become a power player. By 1997, MasterP was unstoppable. He dropped Ghetto D, which moved a jaw-dropping 760,000 copies in its first week, and went on to sell over 6.6 million units worldwide. The project gave us the anthem, Make 'em Say, a platinum single that not only earned an MTV VMA nomination, but became the soundtrack of an entire generation. Then came 1998, the year MasterP became untouchable. His album MP Da Last Dawn debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and sold over 4 million copies. His movie I Got the Hookup pulled in $29 million on just a $1.6 million budget. He even signed Snoop Dogg to No Limit, proving his label had become a magnet for some of the biggest names in rap. The No Limit clothing line was booming too, raking in a crazy $200 million by 2001. In that same 1998 run, No Limit Records grossed an unbelievable $480 million, almost $500 million, built from nothing but a dream, $10,000 in startup money, and a record store in Richmond. When you look at those numbers, it's clear MasterP didn't just make history, he rewrote the rules of the game. By the early 2000s, No Limit had sold over 100 million records worldwide. The label's model of artist ownership and independent distribution became a major influence on how future generations would move. You can trace that same blueprint all the way to today's independent empires, quality control, TDE, and more, all walking the path P paved. And while most rappers talk about being limitless, MasterP lived it. He even made his mark in sports, landing preseason contracts with the Charlotte Hornets in 1999 and the Toronto Raptors in 2000. He might have gotten cut before the season started, but think about that. The man was balancing a booming music empire, a movie studio, and still had time to chase his hoop dreams. That's insane hustle. MasterP proved that you don't have to sell your soul to make it big. You just have to outthink the system. But like every empire, the higher you climb, the heavier the weight gets. Eventually, the same grind that built No Limit got tested. By life, by loss, and by the kind of challenges that no money can shield you from. Still, his legacy is bulletproof. MasterP turned pain into progress, business into culture, and inspiration into an empire. He showed the world that with focus, faith, and ownership, you can change your entire story.